A college student accused his roommate of being homophobic, but it turns out that may have just been cap and it had nothing to do with sexuality, but everything to do with him being a jerk.
So I had to share a room with a man from fall to spring semester, which is from August to May. Basically, I'm going to get straight into this docu-series. This isn't going to be one part, it's going to be multiple, but this is surviving my lame homophobic roommate. I'm going to start with the first issue that we had, I guess, and this was when I had a boyfriend at the time, no longer affiliated with this nigga, very much single, okay? So, my roommate had an issue with the fact that he was spending the night. Now, my roommate never said anything to my ex while he was in the room. It was always text messages or literal paper notes he would write on the door for me to read when that nigga left. He was very indirect, very not confrontational, and that just explains his aura. He's a loser. Like, he will never say nothing to your face, but he will have a problem with it from afar. So basically, we're sitting there watching baddies one morning. It's 4 p.m. He wakes up at 4.
Hey dog, like I said, I'm pretty cool about the staying the night thing, but you didn't tell me, and it's like almost 4. Like, at this point, I want my space. And homie, yeah, my fault, man. I get you want your own space. You just woke up, so I get you tired. But we ordered food and might chill here a little longer. How are we bothering you? What can we do to make it more comfortable or respectful for you? It's not that y'all are specifically bothering. I told you I'm cool, but one, I wish he would have known he was coming, because when you tell me, I usually always give you your space to do your thing, but at the same time, this is my room too, and sometimes I want to be in here with no company. So it's like that they're sharing a room, his bed over here and his bed over there. It's not enough space for you to be constantly having company every single freaking day, and it don't have nothing to do with homophobia. It has everything to do with you being disrespectful and trying to use your sexuality as a scapegoat. It wouldn't matter if you was messing with a woman. He don't want somebody in his space like that. Really, if it was probably up to him, you wouldn't be in his space either. But that's not the situation. So you have to be understanding. 4 nights out of the week, and you saying that he the problem because you want to be up in there laid up with your man, and you was up in there more than laid up with old boy. Y'all was probably hunching or trying to hutch on each other, making out, filling up all up on each other. Don't nobody want to see that. It's an uncomfortable situation, regardless of your sexuality. Why don't you ever visit your boyfriend room sometime? And then you get online and spread it like you telling the truth. That's cap. And you turned your comment sections off. Not only do you have your comment section turned off, you actually also deleted the other parts in this series. This was an 8-part series. He only got 1 and 8 up.
4 p.m. and says, yo, he's gotta go, like, I need to start my day, like, I should low-key show y'all the screenshot. I'll put him up while I'm speaking. So basically, he's like, he's been here too long, he's gotta go. Like, I said, I get, like, you just woke up. What can we do to make this more comfortable for you? At the beginning, I was really trying to figure out a nice middle place for us both to meet at, where he can feel comfortable and I can feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, I understood that this was his room as well as it was mine. So,
all right, let's get back into it. No company, so it's like that I'm even tired. That's not the point, but it's like 4 o'clock. Maybe it's where I'm from, but it's a respect thing. Your company don't stay that long if they spend a night, because it's a whole new day. I want my own space to chill and do some stuff to get my day done without company. And it's like, I don't mind, but I don't want to leave the room all the time, gang. Like, it's not a possibility that y'all go to his dorm sometimes or something. When does y'all food get here? 4:10, I think. I actually said this to him, but and then also he's speaking facts. He's like, look, he spent the night. Why is he still here? That's a valid question. You was here all night. Don't y'all want some space? Y'all could be saying, oh, Amanda, it's Young Love. Don't nobody care. Go Young Love someplace else. Go visit his apartment. And then he talking about, oh, the dude is non-confrontational. The only person that he confronted was him. You're his roommate. Why would he confront your boyfriend? He don't live there. You're the person that needs to abide by the rules and the boundaries that's being set. If he like, hey, man, we agree as roommates that we don't have company on certain days. Or if you stay the night, this night, it's no back-to-back staying the night.
So he didn't like the fact that it was another man. Mind you, if this was a girl in my bed, he would have never said anything the entire year. And that's just because that's what straight niggas will hype each other up like that. But
not you projecting. It'd be the same thing if it was a girl. Cause he's straight. He got a problem with my sexuality. No, he got a problem with you. You were being inconsiderate and you felt entitled. And you want to use your sexuality as a scapegoat. Cause you can't believe that somebody just don't like you based off your actions. You had that man up in there multiple days out of the week spending the night. Yo was up in there getting freaky. And your roommate probably turned to the side and seen that. He don't want to see your eggplant or your cheeks getting clapped. He don't want to see none of that. That don't make him homophobic. The same way that you would not like to turn around and see him smashing a female, you wouldn't like it because it's disrespectful. He said, all right, cool, not to be blunt, but after y'all eat, like, he gotta go. If you want him to come back tonight, cool. I might even have my homeboy come back later, but at the same time, I just want a couple of hours of space and to get myself together. Like, I'm leaving tomorrow to go home, so you gonna have the whole room to yourself to do what you want, so you good. I appreciate it, dog, for real. There's one open, I guess he say now, coming now. Like, bro.
straight niggas will hype. And that's just because that's what straight niggas do. Straight niggas will hype each other up like that. But the minute it's a man and another man, he was very uncomfortable with this, which I can understand to an extent. However, you have many places for you to go.
Friends, bro. You got many places for you to go, but you didn't go there. If it was a man and a woman, he hype him up. What you wanted him to say? Hey, dude, I saw him digging out your guts last night. That's what's up. Hey, bro, sit down.
If you don't want to be in the room. He just wanted to stay in the room and watch us. Like, there were times we would be laying in bed and my ex told me that my roommate was watching me. And my roommate is very homophobic because I believe he's in the closet himself.
He even called his cousin, the second floor RA, to come out and escort him out instead of telling me. Good. It's good he called his cousin. Because first and foremost, y'all in a college dorm. Y'all not supposed to be having company after a certain time. Bro, I didn't stay in the dorms, but I knew somebody that stayed in dorms. Some dorms had curfews. They had rules. One of them, you could not have overnight guests. And depending on if it's an all-girls dorm, boys weren't allowed there after a certain time. It was restrictions in place. And if you not abiding by them rules, he should have already went and snitched on you because you disrespectful. You having that man there 4 days out of the week, I'm sure is violating the rules there.
Basically, he told me he could not feel comfortable showering or doing laundry with him being in the room. He told me it was because we would be thinking about what's under his towel. With that logic, if he had a girl in the bed, the girl and him would be thinking about what is under my towel if I was coming out of the shower, because that's just what people do. People, when somebody comes out of the shower, he assumes that we're thinking about what's under his towel. The fact that he was so insecure about himself and who he was as a person, and I was very confident and outgoing with who I was, very authentic. He was a liar. This made him uncomfortable, but not only that, but he projected his insecurities onto me, which was when this started to become a real issue.
Sir, he don't feel comfortable getting undressed in front of your boyfriend, which is perfectly fine. Even if you were straight, right? If your roommate comes in there in his towel, you and your girlfriend should leave the room so he can get dressed. That's just common courtesy. I don't understand why you feel like this man should feel comfortable with you making out with somebody in his room. You trying to have intimate moments in front of people. It's not cool. You want to be laid up, cuddled up with your boo. Y'all in a shared room, not a shared apartment. Okay, so the roommate then comes back and responds.
This isn't going to be one part. It's going to be multiple, but this is surviving my lame ass homophobic roommate.
So obviously y'all saw the intro clip here. Because I'm blocked, I can't stitch the video, so I have to screen record it. But I'm said roommate here, and I just wanted to come get my side of the story, a full story. I'm not doing no multiple part thing. I hope this video is not too long. I'll try to cover everything as quick as I can with evidence and just deny some of the points, because I honestly wasn't going to make a video on this, but the homophobic claims and all that, that really can, if it gets to the right place, can be really detrimental to my future. So I'm not doing all of that. I apologize if I'm not good at this. I've never done this before. So I'm gonna start with the first point of his boyfriend or his ex at the time staying the night. Our problem stemmed from the first actual night his boyfriend stayed there, and I'll give him the leeway of that we never had completely established a boundary of letting each other know in advance that somebody was going to be in the room. But except for the fact of the first night his boyfriend was there, I don't know if they were drunk or if they were off of anything. I'm not sure, but they were in the bedroom laid up together trying to get it on in front of me while I'm awake. Now, like he said in the video, and I'm not going to run away from that problem, I am a non-confrontational person. I don't like making big conflicts or big scenes out of anything. So I guess in a way I allowed it to happen, and I did not say anything. Obviously I did have a problem and I should have nipped it in the butt when it was happening, but I didn't want to make it a super big problem. I felt very uncomfortable in that situation, and I thought it was very nasty. I was up the entire night, and in that morning when I went to go grab my food that I had DoorDash because I do not have a car, I came back in the room and he was on top of him. He jumped off of him the minute I opened the door up. Put my note that
Hey dog, I'm not one to cock block or hate on no one shine, but I do not want want to hear or see you or your man kissing on each other all night. If I'm asleep or not in the room, I don't care. But please have just a little respect going. Gang, it's all love, gang. But at the very least, be way less obvious. You're doing 12. Laugh out loud. P.S. I just couldn't sleep last night, but if I'm asleep, do your thing. But please, your hand right. Please just let me know when he's spending the night. It don't bother me, but just let me know. That's as respectful as anybody could get. That's common courtesy. And then also, when you have people like this that's constantly having, AJ was testing his boundaries to see how far he could go. When people be having intercourse and they constantly doing stuff, they be trying to see whether or not you want to join in. They was about to see whether or not you was down for a menage a trois, Mark. He was about to see if you was really straight. He ain't fooling me because, he wasn't comfortable with his sexuality. No, he just had respect for himself. Most people do not want to see that. They not interested in seeing you having intimate moments. It makes them uncomfortable, regardless of your sexuality.
That I left here that he referenced me texting or sending notes to him instead of addressing it directly or speaking to his boyfriend about it, which I don't understand why I would do, given the fact that that's your company and he doesn't live with me, you live with me. So once I set my boundaries on the situation and saying like, hey, it's cool, but let's, just let each other know, let's not make it super excessive. His boyfriend was spending the night 4 to 6 times a week for months until our mediation, where we were told that we're not allowed to have visitation.
September 21st, 2024. Hey, Ahmad finna spend the night again. Wanted to give you heads up. October 11th, 2024. Ahmad is staying the night. October 12th, 2024. Ahmad is spending the night again. Ahmad is spending the night. October 15th, 2024. Ahmad is spending the night tonight. October 16th, 2024. Ahmad is spending the night. And October 18th, Ahmad is spending the night. When it wasn't back-to-back night, it was 2-day breaks in between. And you thought that was appropriate. Why couldn't you go to Ahmad's dorm? You know why? Because Ahmad had more respect for his roommates. Y'all was doing too much. Don't y'all got homework? Y'all in college. Y'all doing everything but homework. College student, you got all these time for Ahmad to be spending the night. Because I know y'all wasn't up in there studying.
Week for months until our mediation.
I'm bringing Messiah and Ahmad by the room. Ahmad is spending the night tonight. I'm bringing Messiah and Ahmad by the room. October 11th, October 12th. Ahmad is spending the night again. October 12th, 11:49. Ahmad is spending the night. Man, you think 6 nights in a row is excessive? I'm not gonna lie. Not tonight. Dog, 6 nights straight is kind of crazy. You can't stay with him? I'm bringing Sai and Ahmad to the room. Ahmad is spending the night tonight. Bro, yo, I don't know how long the Red Lobster has been there, but put it in the fridge or, okay, go to the next one.
Where we were told that we're not allowed to.
Okay, this is big. Ahmad is spending the night tonight. No, I'm not feeling him spending the night, especially how you dealt with me the other night and how disrespectful you was about it. I think we're losing sight that this is a shared space and that there's literally no way we bother you, Marcus, unless you're homophobic for real. I can admit to being disrespectful, but you understand, the more you're in the room, the more you gonna see us. First and foremost, sir, keep trying to gaslight him. And I hate that because number one, if old boy was truly homophobic, he would have asked for his room to be changed immediately. And you would have been having more problems than what you having now, sir. He don't want that man up in his space 6 days out of the week. That is not, Ahmad don't live there. You talking about it's a shared space. Apparently you don't know what shared space mean. You trying to get your freak on while your roommate is in a room. You disrespectful all around. The more you gonna see us, like, see, these the type of people, when they catch the smoke that they see, they be like, oh, he did that cause he closeted or he homophobic. No, this don't have nothing to do with your sexuality. This has everything to do with you being a crappy person, a crappy roommate. You're deliberately disregarding everything he's saying to you and making him feel uncomfortable and not want to come to his dorm room. He don't want to see y'all. He don't want to be around y'all every single day out of the week. Give him a break. Go to Ahmad's house. Study or something. God don't it. I told you my boundaries. You crossed them multiple times. You crossed it. I'm big on disrespect, so I'm cool off of it. What he really meant is I'm big on respect. That's fine, but this is my room as well. And you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do. He hasn't done anything to you. What's wrong with him spending that night that bothers you? What is SM? Hold on, bro. So much. You completely right. I have no problem with him. My issues with you. I already told you my boundaries. You obviously don't care, so I don't care as well.
Have visitation after or before 12 a.m. which is the standard for the school. But I was allowing it because I thought I was.
I was cool with it till you felt you could speak to me any kind of way disrespectfully. So that's dead as F. I'm not gonna be here after Sunday, so you can have as much fun as you want. But besides that, I'm cool off of it. Okay, cool. If you want to so bad, go over there. Dude, you always had a problem with something. I did you was never cool. I came to you first with the spend the night I did. You acted on it first, and all I did was set boundaries that you took advantage of. He stayed here 5 straight nights, and I didn't say anything. Please don't ever say I wasn't cool or civil about the situation. You was more than cool, because I would have went ahead and snitched. Like, you think that you gonna keep playing with me? Nah, I'm snitching. Hey, we both ain't gonna have no guests. We both ain't gonna be up in here knocking the boots. I'm snitching. You not about to make me feel uncomfortable in my space. I don't care how you identify. I don't care what your sexuality is. Rules is rules, and you over here breaking them. And then on top of that, you want to be disrespectful about it. It's one day for you to have him spend the night one day out the week, but you got this clown staying up in there 5 days straight. And my biggest question is, when do y'all have time to do homework? Y'all up in there clapping cheeks or getting your cheeks clapped. How do you have time for your homework? You a freshman? Oh, nah. I know them grades like trash. I'm by his face.
But I was allowing it because I thought I was just being a cool roommate and just letting it slide. The boyfriend was here every day. He might as well be paying my tuition at this point. Like, he lived here. It was 3 people in this room with 2 beds. Like, come on, man. Like, is that not ridiculous? Like, how would you feel? Is that not uncomfortable? Like, come on, man. Are we serious? To really quickly address the 4 p.m. thing, or about me wanting to get my day started thing, because I want to get to the other stuff that I believe that he's going to get to in his part, and I just want to go ahead and knock this out. It was never about him being gay or having a boyfriend. I actually multiple times said that to his face, that hey, it's not about that. I don't care. We live in 2025. Just because I'm a straight male does not mean that you being gay bothers me. That has nothing to do with you. What you do is what you do. Also, that was a blatant lie in the video. I never said anything about them seeing or thinking about what's going to be under my towel, or anything about no pee or poop shy or whatever. I don't know what he was even talking about. I never said that. You're just making stuff up and using buzzwords so people are on your side, and it's really embarrassing that I'm reading the comments and nobody is on your side. It got to a point where AJ started
Nosy from PV commenting for PT.
It got to a point where AJ started to text me. He was spending the night, and then he would open the door not even 30 seconds later. He would text me before he opened the door, and I started to come to a problem with that. And one night in specific, AJ got very disrespectful for me and looked at me and said, "You're lucky you even got a text." And that night I lost it on him, because I don't tolerate disrespect very well. I believe that I'm a very reserved and passive person, but one thing I'm not going to allow is disrespect blatantly in my face. That's just not it. Quickly to cover parts that I think he's going to cover in just my own testimony. Living with AJ became a very pertinent hell after the first or second mediation that we had. Everything had to go AJ's way or it was no way. He went to the director about my mirror lights that I could not have on past a certain thing that we had to agree on, by the way. So all of these I agreed to just to allow things to just push on. AJ used to have the AC on 61, 62 on the constant fan mostly at all times. The room was ice cold. We had to agree on 68 after he was told that it's not even supposed to be that low. I can no longer have my LED lights up here on for the rest of the semester. I can no longer have my mirror lights on. Because he apparently cannot sleep.
Bruh, you should have made his life a living hell. You shouldn't agree to nothing. If they take it low, you need to take the bar to hell. That's how you got to do with people like that.
Any type of lights or any types of sounds. AJ did not want me on the game at night. He wanted me to be able to have a time limit to be able to go to sleep, which were things that were brought up. I'm a grown man, and you want me to have a time limit when I can or cannot play my Xbox. That's ridiculous. Quickly covering over the parts that I think he's going to eventually cover over, and I don't want this video to make it seem like it's all AJ. I did also have my part, and I take responsibility for that. But I feel like the way he's going to paint me in that video is going to make it seem a lot worse than what it actually is, or what it actually was. It came during a time during Jiho, and my homegirls from Winston-Salem came over to see me for Jiho. It was the same night as the Bryson Tiller concert, which is very important to the story. I take responsibility for what happened. I want to make that clear, and I took responsibility at the moment for what happened immediately, because that's the type of person I am. That's the type of person I was raised as. My homegirls were zooted, and when when you're zooted, you get these snackies. They were.
Want to add in a moment, I didn't realize they were his. We were given a snack tray at the start of the year, and that's where I thought they came from. He's saying zooted, that mean they was high.
Box of little bites on the cart. I was getting dressed for the Bryson Tiller concert, and I was actually late. I was moving very quickly, which is not an excuse, but I made a quick decision under time. They asked for the little bites, and I just said, here you go. I was trying to hurry up. My mother was waiting for me with the car running to try to leave. I let them have one. I let one of them have one little bite. That's all I offered was one little bite, because they asked, and I left. Right? It was 3 or 4 of them, and my homeboy in the room. It was a homeboy that I trust.
Okay, he said, my homegirls are staying in the room for the night. They all on my side. Hey, can you send me your mom's number? My mother wants to speak to her. Ahmad is coming over. This is back to back.
Right? I left them in the room. I went to the Bryson Tiller concert. I came back. Correct. When I came back, I didn't notice them at all, and I was getting ready. I can't drop my stuff off. I was getting ready to go to my other homeboy's dorm to chill with him. When I was coming out, AJ was coming in. AJ came up to me and saw that the little bites were eaten, and he, was understandably upset. I noticed it, and I realized my mistake. I did not realize that my homegirls ate all of the little bites, and I took responsibility as those being my homegirls and saying, hey, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. I will pay you back, and I'll pay you double. Matter of fact, I told him I'll pay him double the amount that he needed for that. I think it was supposed to be about $5. I said I would pay him $10. AJ had a problem with that and made it in my opinion, a slightly bigger thing than it needed to be. I don't like how you try to spin that situation into me or my homegirl being death. I get it's a principle kind of situation of yes, that your snack was eating, and like I said, I apologize here for that, but I instinctively offered to pay you back double of what it was, and to me, I don't know what else I could have done in that situation, and you actually at first denied my payment, so I don't know what else you want to do. I also just think it's very weird that you go online publicly and try to call me in the closet or DL or whatever it is based off of situations we had in the past. I think that's highly disrespectful to me because I've never said anything like that to you, and I think that's also highly disrespectful to people of LGBTQ plus because you're using that as an insult against me or against my character. I just think that's very weird. Also, another thing I want to cover, I don't know if AJ tries to provoke a reaction out of me or whatever it is, but multiple times over the course of the year, AJ will probably be on the phone or on TikTok Live or whatever, and he will make not even subtle because I'm easy enough to pick up on it, but he'll make a lot of jabs towards me during those calls or those lives or any jabs to the things that I'm doing at the point. I just think that's very weird and it shows your character and how immature and childish you
I'm
are.
sorry. I already told you what AJ wanted to do to you. And this ain't this, and this is for AJ in general. AJ wanted to clap your cheeks, or he wanted you to clap his cheeks. It ain't had nothing to do with his boyfriend. That's why he's being so petty. That's why he think, oh, you homophobic. Oh, I think he in a closet. You know what I'm saying? No, that ain't what. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I could see AJ being upset about somebody touching his food, because I hate when people touch my food, so I would have been hot. Even if I ain't eat it, it's one of like my pet peeve. If I have something and I have to be the first to eat it. You can't eat my stuff before I eat it. So if I have like a bag of chips, I gotta get the first chip out that bag. But he did offer to replace it, and then after that, I mean, that's all he really could do. The little bites was gone. And I thought AJ said he ain't had no friend. Here he was going out Bryson Tiller. I didn't even know he had an album that he was tearing up. King Release Part 3.
Last time I can remember was happening was the lockout situation. In November, I had lost my keys, and AJ was aware of me losing my keys, and so the door started to be unlocked so I could be able to get in and out of the room. There was no, I want to make this clear, there was no problem for the rest of November, all of December, and I'm pretty sure most of January. To add on the further context of the lockout situation, I want to preface that yes, AJ and I had a verbal agreement that anytime somebody was coming to the room, that we would let each other know that it was happening ahead of time. AJ's same concern came from a time where my homegirls came by the room and opened the door when I did not know they were coming. I was surprised by the fact, and I'm sure he was also surprised by the fact. I let them know that was messed up, and like, hey, like, let's not do that no more or whatever. Unfortunately, my homegirls ended up doing it the exact same next day, and I did not know they were coming the next day, and eventually AJ came back, and they had a confrontation. I tried to be the peacemaker in the confrontation because my homegirls were going off on him because he was also very disrespectful to my homegirls in that situation, but like I said, I do understand where his concern came from, but he did not have to speak to my homegirls that way. I feel like that was very disrespectful, and I don't understand why you're talking to women like that. Fast forward, after all the context, I'm starting to be locked out of my room, and I know, me personally, I'm not locking myself out. I brought it up to AJ. AJ sat there and lied in my face about it. I could put it up here. He sat there and lied in my face and played with me like I was myself out. I brought it up to AJ. AJ sat there and lied in my face.
Why did you lock the door? I haven't been back in the room for a minute. Couldn't have been me, but you could just get a key. That's true. You should have went and got a key the moment you lost it. I'm somebody that's like, for safety, that wouldn't have worked for me. I have to have my doors locked, even when I'm in the house. I don't care. So he writes on that part. Oh, okay. Somehow it locked though. You came back while I was in class. Why did you lock the door? It must be locked. It must have locked by itself when I left. Dog, the lock was completely turned. That's not even possible. To be honest, I don't know the. If not finna go back and forth, if you finna just play in my face, gang. What do you mean, bro? You should have just
face about it. I could put it up here. He sat here and lied in my face and played with me like I was stupid. I eventually went to the director of the hall and brought it to his attention that, hey, my roommate is purposely locking me out after I've sat here and reached out multiple times to tell him, please do not lock the door because I do not have a key right now. He said that y'all should probably come to agreement to leave the door open at the time. At one point, I got locked out of my room for, I think it was an hour and 30 minutes at one point while having food in my hand. And at that point, I was sick of it because I tried to reach out diplomatically and let him know, hey, I do not have my key right now. And the reason that I had never bought a key at that point was because keys at NCAT are $175. That is honestly a ridiculous price, but I understand. And as a college student with a budget, I just did not want to pay that $175 right now when there was a simple solution that would be just fine for the time being right now. I was going to pay it back in the summer whenever I was able to get my job back and work it off. And I explained that to AJ, mind you. After the whole hour and 30 thing, I had reached my boiling point with this situation, and AJ actually had texted me, which I felt was a bit spiteful. He had texted me a heads up that he had locked the door after multiple times me asking him not to do that. He texted me, and I let him know, like, hey, like, I need to get back in the room. AJ started to get, I'm gonna say,
witty is the word.
Very snappy, talking about, I'm so sorry that you feel that way.
Why would you do that? You know I have to get back in the room, right? Yeah, nobody was there, so I locked. Why would I leave the room unlocked? So I can get back in the room. You've been left it unlocked many times before. If I leave the room and you're in there, I won't lock it. But if nobody is in there, why would I leave it unlocked? Just get another key, gang. You literally left the room unblocked without me in it many times before. I told you I'm trying to wait so I pay it back in the summer. This is just petty at this point. Nah, fam. It's the fact I don't want the room unlocked. If nobody in there, for real, has absolutely nothing to do with you. Just feels like I'm doing it to spite you because you don't have no key. Truly sorry you feel that way, gang. But I'm not losing my stuff because you don't have a key. On this one, I'm gonna have to go with AJ, dude. Like, you should have called your parents or something like that and got that 175 so you could replace your key, because I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving a room unlocked either, because anybody could walk up in there, y'all got personal items, and they'll steal it from you. And it might not even be anybody that's in the dorm. It could be a guest simply walking by, checking the doors, and they see something that they want and they take it. So that's not cool. You talking about you trying to wait? Nah.
Well, you don't think I'm doing that to spite you. And I will admit that I did get a little out of line because I was very angry
Okay, you got something blocked. So room was unlocked for 2 months straight. All of a sudden it's a problem. It's just being petty for no reason on something that doesn't need to be a problem. I clearly told you, trying to wait so I can pay it back in the summer. Well, your HDS, like, God don't it. I don't understand these abbreviations. Hot girl S. Okay. Well, your hot girl S did, so I don't trust nobody around our room. Also, please let me know what 2 months straight you referring to. Wait till summer. Don't even make no sense unless you don't got any funds right now. Also, ain't your cousin an RA? Did you even get charged for lockout? My hot girl lets know I live here, so unless you got op or people know where you stay, ain't no one walking in here. I lost my key in November. The door was unlocked in November in the first half of December and the first half of this month. Never not had the funds to gang. Not finna spend unnecessary money I need for my necessities. If I can't make it back, it's basic budgeting. If you don't understand, bro. No, I understand people have budgets. Like, I would have called my mom and let her know what was going on, and she would have got the money for me. But I understand that everybody's situation is different, and some people can't fall back on their parents for situations like this. But you should have came up with that money. It's been 2 months. You can't expect for him to constantly like him wavering on. I can see that roommate issue. You was in the right, but this key situation, you in the wrong, sir. And like, I gotta ask y'all men, because I know some of y'all watch my channel. Do y'all not get scared? Because y'all be doing some wild stuff. Like, y'all be wanting to leave y'all doors unlocked so somebody can run up in there. Or is it like irrelevant to you because you feel like you could put hands on the defendant? Like, certain things don't make y'all as uncomfortable as it make one. Do y'all be realizing that stuff really be dangerous?
Very angry. I did not. I'll put the screenshots up here. I'll put multiple of them so y'all can see the conversation. But he also
hold on. Let's get to the end of the conversation. Okay.
I'll put multiple of them so y'all.
My cousin being an RA. My cousin being an RA has nothing to do with nothing. But since you been trying to be in my pocket so bad, yes, I do get charged. This don't even make any sense. If you had the funds, you get the key. It's not necessary. It's not unnecessary because you're gonna keep getting locked out. My friend, my fault if I hit a nerve with the money talks. Not sure if you understand how money works considering everything's handed to you, but just because you have the dollar amount number in your account doesn't mean you should buy it. It makes more sense to wait till our time I can pay it and replenish the money I lost. Not sure you understand that though. Dad would never let you strike a nerve on me. Period, poo. The key is a necessity that you need because he's right. It's about safety. He does not feel comfortable leaving the door open as he should. I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving my door open. Like a month and a half, I would have lost. He better than me. I could only do it for a day or so. But a month and a half, that was him being generous. You gotta go get you a key. Whether you can replenish that money or not, gonna have to not go out as much as you want to. I don't know if you all are allowed to cook in your dorms or not, but nah, bro. You might have to be eating PBJ sandwiches for a minute till you can replenish a little bit of your funds, but that ain't it.
The conversation. But he also at some point he started to get in my pocket and talk about because my cousin's an RA that do I even get charged for lockouts? He started trying to call me broke or whatever it is, which was never the case. I'm not broke. I'm just a college student with a budget, and I don't appreciate how you tried to do all that. And then you tried to throw a stone and hide your hand and play victim in the RA mediation, talking about I was being disrespectful when you were being very snappy and whimsical first. I don't know if I still have them up. I said that nobody's coming in the room out of 300 and whatever rooms in this room to steal your stuff. Nobody knows where you live. Nobody knows where I live. My homegirls came in the room because those are my homegirls. They know where I live. Now, if it was a random person that came into the room, okay, fair game. I understand. My homegirls are not gonna come in here and take your stuff, bro. I'm just being honest. Anybody with logic knows that.
No,
so for you to try to paint it
because you may think you know somebody until they do something shiesty to you. They might not steal from you, but that don't mean that they won't steal from him. See what I'm saying? So you wrong. You know, I'm on a budget. Well, you gonna have to go over budget this month because you need a key. Sometimes stuff come up. You gotta have you emergency fund on the side. And you losing your key was something that you was gonna have to dig into your emergency funds for to replace. Heck, that's like me. I had a nail in my tire. I had went for a walk, came back to the car, looked at my tire and saw a nail in it. I wasn't expecting that, but that was $15 I had to spend to get it patched. Did I want to do it? No, but it was a necessity that it get fixed.
I don't want nobody to take my stuff kind of thing. It was just a little weird, and it was really, I really feel like it was a thing just of spite and pettiness because you knew I didn't have a key and that was your way to try to get power over me or power over the situation. I just want to make it known that AJ called me a very indirect and non-confrontational person. I just want to make it known that AJ has never said anything to my face. None of this that he was saying online. He talked very tough online that I'm a lame ass homophobic or any of that. None of this has ever been said to my face. None of his concerns were ever brought to my face. When my homegirls were sitting there chewing him out, he did not say nothing to my homegirls. He acted like it was not happening when they were very clearly right in his face and he could have said anything he needed to say. Wrap this up. AJ is honestly a very bad roommate. If you have him as a roommate next year, just know that you're not going to be able to do anything that you want in the room. Everything has to go his way. Everything will be his way. Anything that does not fit his criteria, what he wants the room to be, he's going to go to somebody about. You're going to have to take it down or meet his compromise. So, AJ, honestly, to you, find God, get therapy, something. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you want to be messy, you want to go online publicly about this thing, you could have came to me and said it straight in my face, but you know you won't. So that's just my side of the story and all the parts that he's going to cover. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, this will be the last time this happens. Yeah.
Both of y'all just need new roommates. Hopefully this learning lesson, sir. He talking about he wanted to have power over me. Guess what? If you wouldn't got your key, he wouldn't have power over you. This is AJ part 8. I think he was responding to what's in there.
This will be the last part. I'm gonna just clear up stuff that I didn't say or haven't cleared up yet. Initially, the reason why we also weren't getting along in the beginning is that you just weren't clean, man. Like, we can go for example, because I know you have photos of stuff I've left around and vice versa. Yo, like, I'm not saying you have to be a neat, free, clean, up to my standards room has to be my way. I'm saying it has to be a certain way for us to live. Like, I don't know what type of boy you are. Like, and if y'all want some examples, it's like puddles of water on the floor after that you get out the bathroom. The sink is a mess. Like,
he said,
getting oil on my side of the sink, the side that I keep
leaving
clean.
DoorDash bags on the floor, leaving food in the trash for it to smell up the room, using air freshener is not the equivalent of a clean space. Yeah, you have to dump your trash. I got a sensitive nose. I couldn't deal with that either. Sir, y'all needed a rug.
Like, I know recently I've been being more dirty. You haven't been clean like a whole year. Like, mention that microwave that hasn't been wiped out or cleaned because you use the microwave every single day. Like, y'all, this stays in the room all the time. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but going into your room and seeing your roommate in there 100% of the time when you walk back is like, damn, you really don't got nothing to do but sit there.
So whenever he claims me and my ex stayed there for days, we would spend nights there, not full days. We were out and about. You think if you weren't in the room all the time, you wouldn't have had to see us so much? Sir, he wouldn't have had to see y'all so much if you and your boyfriend found another place to hang out. Y'all wasn't out and about too much and then want to come and lay up in a bed, cuddle and knock some boots. But then if you wasn't in the room so much, he might be an introvert. Introverts stay in a room. They not really gonna be out and about. That don't mean that he a crappy person. He's just not an outgoing person, and that's cool too. That was his room. That's supposed to be his safe space.
Being tired and cool, be that, but be clean in the space. Like, I remember asking you in October to clean the microwave and you looked at me crazy like, how can a microwave be dirty? Like, bro, look at it. The reason I called you homophobic was because you genuinely did not like the people I brought into the room because of their sexual orientation. Like, you want to make that argument, but it's like, if I were to bring in straight homeboys and we were talking about basketball or 2K, like, yo, you would have loved to have them in the room. Like, you don't like the people I bring in because of what we would talk about or what we liked or what we were dressed like. Like, be for real.
Bro,
like, be for
the examples that you gave was not him being homophobic. He does not have to like your guests. He don't have to like how y'all dress. Some of it may have made him uncomfortable. That's fine too. The same way his homegirls made you uncomfortable. Does that make you straightophobic? I know that's not a word. But be for real right now. He don't have an irrational fear of you. Y'all just don't like each other.
real, stand on that. That's why I called you homophobic. The lame thing comes from you always being in the room, never doing nothing. I'm not saying you need to party, you need to smoke, you need to drink. I'm saying, bro, you're always in the room. The only time I see you is to go get a DoorDash. And if not, then you're eating some type of food you've curated in the room. Like, also want to mention, I never said names. I never said what school we go to. I didn't know people knew about me going here. Like, I didn't know I'm AJ at NCAT. Like, for real. Regardless of what y'all think, like, I didn't know I had this big standing at school. I thought I was just one of the little students that can just post and get away with it. Like, it's cool though. Like, I brought it to the internet. Like, I accept that. It's just like y'all was waiting on my downfall. Like, I ain't never. Clock it though. In the messages though, you stay trying to insinuate
I'm not
that
going to be here after Sunday, so okay, I read that.
me and my ex were gonna get it on when y'all leave. Like, you always made a sexual.
Like I'm leaving tomorrow to go home, so you gonna have the whole room to yourself to do what you want. So you good. Y'all was up there hunching on each other on multiple occasions. He already knew how you was giving it up. So I don't understand why you trying to gaslight him and thinking he didn't see what he saw. That's what it is. He wasn't just staying there 5 days out of the week for y'all to cuddle. You ain't about to play him in my face.
Your tone when it wasn't always sexual with me and him. Like we can't just be cuddled up under a blanket without you thinking it's sexual. Like, I don't
Bro,
know,
you was
like,
doing
it
more
was-
than cuddling under that blanket. Stop the cap. Same way he was gonna be doing more than cuddling under the blanket if he had a girl. That was his girlfriend.
Wasn't always sexual with us. If that's what you thought. If that's what you thought. Like, that's what you like to think about, but that's not what we were doing. The last situation I'm gonna bring up is the homegirl situation and with the key. So we're both chilling in our room, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt this time because his homegirls had surprised us both. I had seen he was in the bed. It didn't seem like he was knew his homegirls were coming, but they opened our door. Like, the girls opened our door and acted like they owned the door, and it's because the door was unlocked. And okay, the door's unlocked because we're both in the room. Okay, cool. But I don't know who gave them the right to open the
Yeah,
door.
he should have not.
Like, that confused me. But again, that time didn't matter because I could tell he didn't expect that. Then I don't know when I come back to the room. I literally text him that day that I'm coming back to the room. And
Somebody in his bed right now.
neglects to let me know that his homegirls are in the room. Like, it's crazy because you go in your video and you talk about me not texting you 5 minutes before. But when that situation happened, I damn well texted you I was bringing company. I arrived with company, and you had 3 girls. And
Yeah.
mind you, we can only have 2 guests when
Bro.
we bring them into the room.
You got guests right now. My gosh.
We can't have 3. We just had a mediation meeting about that. Like, we had just had a meeting about that, I think. Honestly, I see what y'all are saying. Y'all are saying he shouldn't have had to address my ex because that's my company. How I thought about it is if he's not going to relay this message to his company, let me relay it to them for them because they're in the room and I'm here too. So I told them, I'm like, girls, we have a rule. Like, you need to tell Marcus when you come to this room because he needs to tell me. That's pretty explicitly what I told them. And the tensions got high. You know, I guess that was kind of rude. But to be honest, during this whole time, I feel like my roommate is getting one over on me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm following the rules and I'm not getting any rule following them back.
Yes, I broke rules along the way. I still felt wrong. I guess, like, justice wasn't served. No, you was being disrespectful. If he did not address your boyfriend, which was your guest, you shouldn't have addressed his friends. You had your boyfriend over there multiple times out of the week spending the night. You wasn't giving heads up. Your heads up included you at the door. Let me send him this text real quick. Let me walk and then walk in the room. Cut the cap. He wasn't getting one up on you.
My friend, actually, the person I was bringing into the room, he had left the room. He went to the vending machine. And so his homegirls had, like, packed their stuff up and got ready to go. And he told me that they were coming back to the room. My friend actually told me, like, after the situation went down that they were saying a lot of stuff outside. Like, I had got them riled up. And that's literally why I didn't say nothing to them when they came back to the door. I know these are women. Like, I was not finna argue back and forth with women. I laid down the law. Like, I told them what was up. And that was that.
But this is the thing, AJ. That wasn't your responsibility to be laying down no law. Did he lay down the law with your boyfriend? No. I ain't about to be going back and forth with no woman. Yes, you do.
If they find that disrespectful, I find it disrespectful when you enter my room without telling either of us. So I let you know. Like, that's me, though. If I have a problem with someone's company, I'm going to let them know what the problem is. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm wrong for that.
No, you wrong for that.
So then they come back to the door, and I'm by the door because I was getting ready to hop in the shower. So I opened the door for my roommate.
That's not your company. You be laying down the law with the wrong people. You should have laid down the law with your boyfriend. Like, hey, no, we can't stay here tonight. We're gonna have to go back to your spot. Yeah, my roommate, he wants some space. Yeah, babe. You know what I mean? That's who you need to lay the law down with.
And so I opened the door, the 3 girls were there. I'm like, y'all can come in, y'all are permitted. Like, I remember this moment clearly. Because I was like, y'all are permitted. And I think that's what they're saying was disrespectful. And I can see how that was disrespectful. No shade. I'm sorry, girl. But they didn't come in. So I closed the door. I said, Marcus, it doesn't look like they want to come in. So then he went to the door, and then I heard them saying all this rah-rah. Like, I heard rah-rah. I heard them saying all this rah-rah.
Anger here was more directed to my roommate who kept expecting so much from me, but never considered it when the roles were reversed. Sir, he told you couldn't get your cheeks clapped in your dorm 5 days out the week because he didn't want to hear or see that crap. You deliberately was rude to his guest. You went out of your way to be disrespectful. You have not stated a situation where that man was rude to your boyfriend or rude to your guest, but yet you sit up here and called him homophobic when you was being sassy, nasty to his guests. Cut the cap.
I heard rah-rah behind the door. And I was like, well, I was just there at the door. Like, if you wanted to say something to my face, you literally had the time to say it to my face. Like, girls, I opened the door. Like, I opened the door before Marcus got there. So you could have said whatever you want to say to my face, but you didn't. You said it to Marcus, which is cool. Like, and I could only hear it through a door behind my roommate. So how was I going to say anything bad? I don't know. You had your chance. So that's when that situation got squashed in the butt. And then the key situation kind of unfolded more. The key situation being my roommate had to pay for a key. He had lost his keys, and I didn't feel comfortable with the door being unlocked. He said this was an issue that trickled in from fall semester to spring semester, and I was really picking my battles first semester with what we were going through. So I was like, all right, I'm going to let this one fly under the radar. You can have the door unlocked. But when it became spring and he told me that he was going to wait till summer, I said, yo, hell no, like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Why would we leave it unlocked the whole semester long? And then he wants to argue that nobody's going to come in and take my stuff. Yeah, his homegirls literally did. Like, and it wasn't even out of spite. It was because I don't like my belongings not being accounted for. Like, if I'm not going to be there and I have now had experience with you dating, disrupting my property, or allowing other people to do so, why would I feel comfortable with you being in the room, let alone other people having access to it? So that's where that anxiety came from. It was not out of spite to you, Marcus, and I said that in the messages. With all this being said, I think this is going to conclude what I had to say. I think I said everything I had to say. Finished delivering the message. Yeah. Should I have brought this to the internet? Probably not. Can I take it back? Hell no. So am I going to live with the consequences? Hell yes. So whatever needs to be done can be done, and I'll deal with it. So thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate all y'all's views, support, and run me that.
Taking accountability and apologizing.
I never thought I would have to film one of these in my life. Here the f- I am, y'all. Obviously, if y'all haven't seen or not yet, I am in the wrong. To summarize briefly, I brought a situation pertaining to my roommate to the internet, and it has completely, been taken by storm. A lot of views, a lot of feedback. And at first, it was a big thing at my school, and now it's a big thing on the internet. So I heard the apology has to be just as loud as the disrespect. So here the f- I am. I didn't think that I had to bring the apology to the internet because I don't owe it to y'all. I owe it to my roommate and a couple people who were discussed about in the video. Other than that, the viewers don't need an apology. I didn't do anything to y'all. However, I'm realizing I did bring it to the internet, so with that invokes me to apologize, because if I brought the situation, I need to bring the end to the situation onto the internet as well. So I will say me and my roommate have discussed things, and to what I understand, stuff is cool between us. Like, we probably haven't been at this much of a neutral place in our relationship or cohesion in the room since we had first met each other. And it was unfortunate that it took all of this just for that to happen, for us to have a talk that needed to be had. To an extent, you feel me, it's just gonna stay between me and my roommate, because at the end of the day, it just goes down to me and my roommate. Like, we're the only two in this room. But again, I take responsibility that I brought it to y'all, so that's why I'm here on a video telling y'all stuff you don't need to know about. I understand what I did wrong and what y'all see as wrong in his video. Yeah, I mean, I'm young, I'm growing up, make mistakes, so, you know. I learned from them, it is what it is. Like, can't do nothing now about what I did, and I also can't fix what I did, so I'm here just being a person. Again, when I posted that, I didn't really tone deaf to the fact that I had a platform. Like, y'all would post a video and it wouldn't do numbers. Like, I post a video, it does numbers. And I'm not saying that as a power play or, oh, I'm better than y'all. It's like, people who do use the internet, or people who use your accounts to rant about things. And, like, again, I'm learning. I grew up on the internet. I need to go about things in a mature manner, not on a digital manner. Like, so, you know, y'all can't really tell me anything I'm not already knowing. And to be completely
Bro, you
honest,
should
I
have
have
kept
not
this
been really.
apology, because you ain't apologized not a once. You should just shut up. You should have just shut up and kept your comments off, because ain't no freaking way. You know, like, my videos got virus. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. You was wrong. He was wrong about the key. You was wrong about the guest. And you was wrong calling that boy homophobic, because it would have everything to do with you as a person and nothing to do with your sexuality.
Reading comments, so I'm probably gonna turn comments off on this, but this is just the final part to this. There's nothing more with the situation. I'm gonna leave it at this. Y'all can remember me as the weird roommate. It's okay. And this video was not made for you to like me, to hate me, to forgive me, to forget me. Do whatever you want to, as you please to. This is just the final ish that I'm gonna give. And at least the situation does need to come to an end, and it has came to an end on this part, but now I have to address it on the internet because I brought it here. So, you know, you don't have to forgive me. Just, you know, the situation has concluded itself. So I just hope y'all see me for me, not as, you know, mistakes that I've made in the past. Like, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I appreciate y'all.
Oh, homegirls. Okay, I apologize to the 3 homegirls raising my voice at y'all. I apologize to Alyssa for even bringing you into the video. I apologize to my roommate for making the simple situation messier by bringing it to the internet. I mean, you could have said these 3 sentences, but I guess at least you acknowledged it, AJ. I hope you and Mark graduate at the top of y'all classes and y'all go ahead and have a successful career in whatever field that may be. You in college, you got a lot to learn. Focus on your schoolwork and leave them boys alone. Leave them boys and them girls alone, because they'll be there after you finish. As always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and stay blessed.